Well, one of those that will be here, certainly the new incoming TG of the African National Congress on the fourth and final day of the Progressive Business Forum. Over the last 3 days, we've seen the Minister of Communications, Stella Abrahams-Dabeni, touching on, for example, the policy issues and hindrances that don't allow for the black businesses in the majority to enter the mainstream economy. And the first day, of course, it was the Finance Minister, Enoch Godongwana, that looked at just load shedding and what can be done to address the woes and the burdens of the rolling blackouts. But today, of course, while we have the incoming TG, she will be alongside the Minister of Communications and Digital Technologies. That is the Minister Nchabeni. But just to get an insight on what to expect, I am joined by the convener of the the Progressive Business Forum, Sipombele.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us at ANC. But you have two special guests today.
Yes.
What are we expecting?
So, because Comrade Grant has just been elected as a new Treasurer General, we thought as Progressive Business Forum it will be prudent to invite her to engage with the guests today, particularly those in the ICT sector. It's also good that she also going to present some of her ideas in terms of how she's going to drive, how she's going to take the work of the Treasurer General forward. So that's why we decided to invite her. She's not going to go into details about the work she's doing because she just got elected yesterday, but she's going to give an overview, kind of an opening remarks. And then we also invited one of the sponsors who will be here. They will also say some few words, and then we'll have the Minister of Digital Communication, Digital Communication, Minister Kumbuzo Chabeni. She's going to give us an overview. Our view is that her input is going to address a number of areas with regards to her portfolio. It will also allow the participants, the guests that are here, to engage with her like we did with previous breakfast engagement. So that is the purpose of today's engagement. The exciting part is that we have seen the positive response. And you guys have also witnessed that where you had a number of participants from organized formation. We also have diplomatic corps, we had international guests, we had SMMEs participating in this program. So we're excited that we have achieved our goals of creating a platform for business to engage with the leaders of the ANC. We have created a platform for business to have an insight of what are the plans for government when it comes to their sectors.
I want to reflect then on the last number of days and what needs to be done on what has come out here. We heard, for example, the Minister of Small Business Development, Stella Abrahams-Dabeni, highlighting how the black majority are excluded from the mainstream economy. How are we going to change this?
So we had a chat with the Minister yesterday, and we need to have follow-up discussions, not only with the Minister of Small Business yesterday. We also going to have a follow-up on issues that were raised by Minister of Finance, engaging with various key players, because there are key issues that they've raised with the Minister of Finance. Yesterday I was liaising with the Office of the Minister of Energy, Minister Mantashe. They have said to us they'll come back to us with a date so that we can able to have a follow-up discussion on issues of energy security. We need to take forward the issues that were raised yesterday by the Minister of Small Business. For instance, one of the key issues that were raised yesterday has to do with the regulatory environment for small business to able to operate efficiently. So we want small business to participate in those discussions around regulatory environment so that they can able to make some inputs. Secondly, the issues of access to funding. The minister said there are funds there, but they may not get into the right people. So there was a call from the minister that PBF must work with various agencies of small business to coordinate business. Business, not only our PBF subscribers, but we're also going to involve your Black Business Council, we're going to involve your Business Unit of South Africa, we're going to involve your NAFCOC, your township economy, and other key players. We're hoping that we'll do what we call provincial visits so that is not seen as a Gauteng thing, but it's seen as a national thing because small businesses are across the country. So we're excited that come next year, we'll start to take forward some of the key issues that we have, those that were discussed. We're also looking forward to hear from the Minister of Digital Communication. So our duty as PBF is to take forward the discussions, is to make sure that they find expression at the implementation stage.
That's what I wanted to clarify. Is it merely more discussions that we're expecting, given that there's so many important role players that you've roped in here, not only the ministers, but also key people in the economy that we've seen come in the last 4 days? Does it end then in being merely a talk shop, or what's going to happen on the ground?
No, remember we facilitate, but the actual implementation takes place at the government level. Now, we will facilitate those engagements, we will follow up on issues that were raised so that implementation is done. We are not an implementing agents. We create a platform. We bring two parties under one roof and we say find each other and talk to each other. But then after those discussions has taken place, we will follow up, particularly with our subscribers. We'll say, you raise these issues where your issues being attended to. Let me make an example. We hosted an engagement with IDC on issues of access to funding. After those engagements, we still follow up with some of our subscribers who said, I've submitted, what is the status? But we are not involved at that level, but we are just following up on their behalf. Because PBF also have what we call the help desk that provide the service to our subscribers. So what we want to say, the errors that the minister has raised yesterday, at least they must be implemented. We are not going to impose timelines to the minister, but what we want to see is that those who raise those issues, they get feedback, they know what is happening. That is what we want to achieve.
All right, thank you very much. Sipho Mbele is the convener of the Progressive Business Forum. Of course, today is the fourth and final day, and we have two guests today, one of them being the first Treasurer General of the African National Congress, the first female Treasurer General, Dr. Gwen Ramokgopa, and the other being the Minister of Communications and Digital Technologies, Minister Ntshabeni.